Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm Gamesplaining Glass Road. So if you have watched the Gamesplain of Glass Road, you'll have an idea of the rules. I'm going to have a playthrough of probably a round, maybe two, but probably a round, just to show you kind of how the game plays, and we'll see how we go. Now, because this is a game where it's really reliant on not knowing what's in the other person's hand, I have brought my delightful wife on to join us. That was my delightful wife's hand. Okay, so we'll get started. The very first thing that happens is that both of us will look through our decks and choose 5 cards to go with. I will show you what I'm doing. My delightful wife will do the stuff in private without showing us what's happening. So I'm probably going to... I'll probably pick that one as a starting point. I'll probably pick that one as well. That one. Now notice these. We just need to be really careful not to take too many of those without finding a way to up the number of those I have. This is probably an important card to go for, and I think that it might be worth my while to take that one at the moment as well. So let's see how we play out. That's my 5 cards. I have no idea which 5 cards my delightful wife, Julia, is selecting, but we'll see how it all plays out once she is selected. Now, because I have this, I'm the first player. So these are the 5 cards I've chosen. This is the first card I really want to use because that is dependent on what else is in my hand. So I'm going to play the fuel collector. Jules also has the fuel collector. So she puts that up there. I'll just move my board a little bit to make space for that to go in properly. Okay, which now means that I only get one of the things. It's going to cost me 1 water. Jules will cost her 1 water as well. So I can now either take 4 of the black stuff, the coal, I think it is, or I can take 2 wood. And I think that I will take the 4 of the coal. Let's push this one up 1 as well, and I'll push that all the way up to there. Okay, I've taken all 4 of my coal. Jules, do you wish to take 4 coal or 2 wood? You're going to take the 2 wood, so she moves the 2 wood up. Now, before I move on, you'll notice that I have cleared a space, which means this tracker comes around. So I now have 0 clay, but I have 1 of my bricks. Okay, we now go to Jules, her card to select. And she has played the slash and burn. I do not have the slash and burn in my hand. Okay, so that's going to cost her 1 of these from her board. So she takes that off the board, and then she gains 2 coal and 2 food. Okay, and notice that she upgraded her brick tiles as well. Okay, it's back over to my turn, and I will play this card, the Feudal Lord. Does Jules have a Feudal Lord? I'm getting a shake of the head. She does not, which means I get to do both of the elements. And I think that it's probably worth taking this tile. I think it's probably worthwhile grabbing this one. This is going to give me extra points for each of these that's on an adjacent spot. And it'll get me 4 points at the end of the game if I have that built in my area. And I think the other one to take is probably this one, as it's not going to cost me any of these, so that works for that. But I will have to have 2 bricks and 2 wood in order to get that onto my board. Then I also get 1 clay and 1 wood from this part of the other card, which pushes this forward 1 more spot. It's now back over to Jules' turn, and she is playing the Forest Manager card. As you can see, I do not have a Forest Manager, so that also goes down, which means she gets to do both lines. And she gains 1 forest, which she'll put onto her board, and that gains her 1 wood. Then she can either gain 1 wood per forest or 1 food per forest. So because she's got full up on the wood, I'm assuming she'll take the food, and that is 3 food. She could have taken that off either of the circuits because there is a food on the bottom one, but she's chosen to take it off the top one for all 3. And that's back to my turn again. I think it's probably worth my while to play this card. Okay, so I'm playing the Supplier. Jules is shaking her head. She does not have the Supplier. So I get to push forward one of my elements by 2. And I think that's probably worthwhile pushing forward the food. So I'll push that food forward by 1. And I'll push that food also forward by 1. That also means that Jules gets to push one of her foods forward by 1. And I get to gain a tile. And I think that I will grab this tile, which can give me 3 points if there's at least 4 of these left on my board at the end of the game. So I will throw that down there. It's going to cost me 1 wood to build it. So there's my 1 wood paid. And that is now in there. Okay, we go back to Jules's turn. She is going to play the carpenter, which, as you can see, I do not have. The carpenter will cost her 1 of the forest, and then she'll gain 1 wood. Her wood is already at maximum, so she doesn't actually gain that anyway, but she also gains 1 of those tiles. So the tile that she's taking will cost her 1 water to put it in, but she'll get 2 food per adjacent lake. I'm assuming that she'll place it there because that will get her 2 food. Anywhere else on her board she places it would not get her any food. So that costs 1 water. She gets 2 corn per adjacent lake, 2 yellow. It's so much easier for me to talk in colors rather than what is what. Okay, moving forward. I have the choice of these 2 cards. I will play this one, which is the water carrier. Jules does not have the water carrier, so it's going to cost me 1 food. So I'll bring that back down. And then I gain 2 water and 1 logs. And then another 2 water, 1 more yellow. And it's back to Julia's turn. That may well be sand, we don't know. She is playing the pond builder. As you can see, I don't have the pond builder. The pond builder allows her to place 1 more pond onto her board, and then she gets 1 sand or corn, the yellow one, or 1 water per lake that she has on her board. And she'll place that lake in there. It doesn't cost her any stuff, but she can gain. So she gained 3 water because she has 3 ponds on that board. We have now reached the end of the round because Julia is out of cards. If we were playing a 3 or 4 player game, by the way, it would just go until each player had played 3 cards, rather than some of us playing 4, some of us getting the 5th one. So what happens right now is the first player marker swaps sides. Each of these empty spots get refilled from their particular piles. All of the cards that you've played come back in, and then you select again. I've just realized that I made an error when I played the Feudal Lord card, that it should actually be 1 from the top of each of these stacks rather than selecting what you're going to work towards. So in order of fairness, I will remove those 3 from the game, and things that I am now working towards as a potential are those 3 rather than things that have come from the actual board. I do apologize. What I'm going to do is really quickly play this through with Jules till the end of the 4th round. And then just so you can see the scoring, because I think it's pretty important to understand how that scoring works. So please bear with me. Okay, so we have reached the end of the game. This is what the current state is. So let's run through. We'll run through Jules's board first to see what points she's managed to gain. So she gets 1 point for this, 1 point for that, 2 points for that. So that's in the bags on the top right corner, so that's 4 points. Then she has 1 point per these, which is 1 more point. She has 1 point per brick, which is another 3 points. And then it's a half point per yellow. And she's on the 3 with yellow, so she's got another 1.5 points on top of that, which brings to a total of 9.5 points, 9.5 points. Okay, so down to my board. This one gives me no points. This one gives me 3 points if I've still got at least 4 of those left. So I definitely have those left for 3 points. Then I get 3 points per glass, so that's another 9 points. I get 3 points per brick, which is another 6 points. And then I get a half point per yellow, and that's another 1 point, which is 17, and that's a win for me. 17 plays 9.5 or 9.5. So I hope this helps you get Glass Road to the table. I hope you understand what's going on with everything. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be Gamesplained, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.